Okay, welcome to our next video. In this one, I'm going to show you how to set up your POP3 email client in Ubuntu Linux. If you go up to the top panel, you'll see an envelope icon. If you put your mouse over it, it shows a little pop-up balloon that says Evolution Mail for reading and writing emails. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And you see the new account setup wizard pop up. It says Welcome to Evolution Mail. So we're going to go ahead and click forward. Now on this screen, you can restore Evolution from a backup file. Let's say down the road, when a new version of Ubuntu comes out, you decide to do a clean install instead of an upgrade install. Sometimes I prefer to do a clean install. After you do so many upgrade installs, you kind of get a clutter of extra files that don't always clean up correctly. Sometimes it's just nice to do a full clean backup. Once you have Evolution installed, from the file menu, you can do a backup of all of your email accounts, your emails, your folders, your contacts, everything. It'll make a nice little TGZ file, which is a Linux zip file. And then you can optionally restore it from the backed up file here. We're going to skip that step because we're going to do a clean setup. So on the next screen, it's asking for our full name. Now this is going to be the name that you want recipients to see in their inbox when they get an email from you. So generally, you're going to put in your full first and last name. And then on the next field, your email address. This is going to be your email address with whoever your internet service provider is. I personally have my own domains, of course, and my own mail servers. So I'm going to set mine up using that account for the purpose of this demonstration. Yours could be bellsouth.net, comcast.net, whatever the case may be. Underneath that, you'll see optional information and a checkbox next to make this my default account. Generally, you're going to want to leave that the way it is because it's going to be your default email account. If you have additional email accounts that you add later, you may want to change which one is the one that you do all your primary sending and receiving from. The reply to and organization fields you can skip, so we're going to click forward. On the next screen, it shows please select among the following options, server type, and there's a drop-down list. You're going to click on that, and being it's POP3 email, we're going to choose POP, and the first text box in their configuration is where you're going to put in the incoming mail server name. In the case of my domain, it's pop.wb4whd.com. Now you're going to have to find out, if you don't already know, from your internet service provider what your incoming and outgoing email addresses are. Underneath that, it shows username. Now, different ISPs do their email systems different ways. It may just be the first part of your email address, or they may require that you use your entire email address. In my case, I'm using a secure email server, so I'm going to select TLS encryption. Generally, you're not going to with an ISP, so you can just disregard this part. And you can check the box to remember your password. So we're going to click forward again. We're going to tell it we want to check for new messages every 10 minutes by default. You can optionally leave the emails on the mail server in case you want to check them from another computer later. Then we're going to click forward. On the next screen is where we choose our sending mail server. Server type is SMTP by default, so you can leave that alone. Again, you need to type in your mail server name. So in this case, I'm putting in my values for my hosted email server. And server requires an authentication or not. Your ISP will let you know if you need to use that. In my case, I don't need to, so I don't have to worry about that. So then we're going to forward. And it shows account information. You can give it a unique name if you want, work or personal. I just leave it labeled as the email address. That's good enough for me. Click forward. Time zone, you can optionally choose a time zone here. Being that I'm on the East Coast time, I select New York. That's accurate enough for me. Forward, and it says congratulations, your new email configuration is complete. So we click apply. And now you'll see Evolution open. And it has a generic test message in there from the Evolution team that says welcome to Evolution email client, which is cool. I'll go ahead and delete that. Now to check my email for the first time, just like an Outlook Express or Outlook, I'm going to hit send and receive. And it's querying the mail server. It'll pop up and asking me to put my password in the first time. It's asking me if I want to accept my secure certificate, which I do, because like I said, I use an encrypted connection. So I put my password in, I click OK, and there's the test email that I sent to myself from one of my other accounts. And that's it. That's all there is to setting up your email client, Evolution email client, and Ubuntu Linux. Thanks for your time. I hope this helped.